We're gonna put our jar upside down on the lid. Make sure it's dry enough, like almost, should be leather hard. And we're gonna center this on the wheel. So that's pretty centered. And now what we're gonna do, with my needle tool, I'm just gonna make a little line there. And now we're gonna put our jar aside. Now you can see that I have this line, this circle here. We're gonna carve here. So we're gonna carve all this. We're not really gonna touch here because this is gonna fit inside your jar. But I'm just gonna hold it like this. So now we're gonna bring back our jar and we're gonna see if this elevated part, the non-trimmed part, fits within our jar. Dun, 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 dun. Doesn't quite fit in there as smoothly as I would like. So I'm gonna trim the inside of this a little bit. All right. And then we kind of want to see where we want our jar to our lid to stop. Obviously, I don't want this coming out all the way out here. I think I'm gonna trim it to about where like the top of this circle is. The line, and I'm slowly gonna press down. Okay, and it's thin enough that I could probably just crack this off. So now let's look again, see how we like that. I like that. Okay, so now we're gonna put it on the lid. Kind of center it. There's a little bit of there's a little wiggle room. And now what I'm gonna do, when I trim it, I'm gonna trim the lid, but I also want it to be the same size. I want it to look like it's just coming off the top of the jar. So when I trim it, there's gonna be a time where I'm gonna be trimming both the top of the jar and the lid at the same time. And you'll see what I mean. I'm gonna use my knife just to cut off this. All right, so now we're gonna make the handle. Gonna get my scoring tool, make sure I have some water, which I do. Okay. My idea for this handle, I was gonna do like this kind of shape. Okay, that's about where I want it. Okay, so I'm gonna take my needle tool and I'm just gonna put a line there, and then I'm gonna put a line there. Okay, now we're gonna wet our tool. We're gonna make some scratches where the handle is gonna meet the lid. Make some scratches on there, and I'm gonna make some scratches on my handle. And because the lid, it's so fragile right now, I still have some flared pieces of clay here. I'm gonna sand those off once it's like a little more bone dry. But yeah, so that's how we're gonna make the lid and the jar. And of course, after this is a little dry because I made it yesterday, it's still pretty moist on the bottom, so I can trim that later. So there you go. That's our jar with a lid.